Welcome to Ask Charlie. I'm up in my bathroom with Coco and she's kindly agreed to model. I've had so many requests to show you how to do a French plait, so Coco is going to sweetly sit down and be terribly patient so I can show you exactly how to do it. So the first thing you need to do is make sure the hair is nicely brushed, and then you can use a comb to divide the hair in two, because we are going to do 2 French plaits today for Coco. So I've got a hairband at the ready and I'm just going to pop this side out of the way in a hairband, and then you can't get that tangled in this side. Make sure that you are not free, because you don't want to be pulling on the hair at all while you're plaiting, because it just makes it not much fun for the little person that's sitting there while you're doing their hair. So we are all not free. I've got a hairband at the ready, and I'm just going to take a little section from the front, about that amount of hair, and I'm going to divide it into 3 as even as you can pieces, and then put the right over the middle and the left over the middle. And if you want a nice tight neat plait, you need to keep it quite taut, and then just take a section from the right, put that into that right hand side, and then take a small section from the top here, from the top, and pop that into that left hand section, and then right over the middle and left over the middle like that, and then another little section from the right. Now it depends whether you want a really big, thicker plait and you then go for bigger sections, or if you want a finer French plait, go for smaller sections, and try and make sure that the sections are as even as you can get them, and that makes it a nice uniform plait. So keeping it taut with your hands as you go. Coco's such a good girl, sitting so beautifully for me. So just right over the middle, left over the middle, pull it, comfortably taut. You don't want to be making your child uncomfortable, but can you see that's the sort of section I'm taking and putting that into that right hand side, and then this section on the top into that. I've found a little bit of a knot down here, and into that side. I had a doll with very long hair when I was a little girl, and we had lots of long car journeys, and I would take my doll and hold her between my knees and just practice plaiting her hair again and again and again. And you know what they say, practice makes perfect, and it really did help me learn how to plait and also whittle away boring hours in the back of a car as a youngster. So again, just add your sections both sides, and then right over the middle and left over the middle, and you can see our plait is getting a little bit longer. And then section around the ear, just get that little bit of hair too. And from there. And it really is a case of just practicing. You can practice in your own hair as well. I don't have particularly long hair. I think to have a nice long French plait, you need to have nice long ends. It looks beautiful, as it does in Coco's hair, having her plaited bunches. That's what we're doing, isn't it? So you just keep on going down. I also think it's a good idea to give your child something to play with. Coco's playing with a bracelet down there, but sometimes you'll read a book, won't you, or play with something, and it just is a good distraction, and it helps them, particularly when you've got young children. They need to be distracted with something, otherwise they get bored and then they don't want to have their hair done. So. We are getting closer to the bottom now. When you get down to the bottom, I'm going to just, again, take those even sections and we'll probably get one more on each side. So that one into that right hand, and then this little piece of hair down here into the left hand section, and then just keep on plaiting down like so. In fact, you can see, I don't know if you can see, that's slightly baggy, so actually I'm going to carefully undo it, because you don't want to have, if you're going for a neat one, you don't want to have baggy bits. So actually I'm just going to grab that section again and pull it a little bit tauter and get rid of, I had a little baggy bit there, which isn't great, particularly down there. So now I can just plait down to the bottom, and then I've got a hairband at the ready on my wrist. And then when you get down to the bottom, just secure it with a hair elastic and make sure it's really firmly in place, because you don't want that elastic falling out. And then Coco, will you pass me one of those ribbons? Thank you. Now I've got my elastic in place, and I'm just going to tuck my ribbon through the elastic, and this way you're less likely to lose your ribbons if they're secured around the hair elastic. So I've got that in place there, and just make sure it's even on both sides, and then I'm going to wrap it round to cover that hairband as much as I can, and then just tie it in a bow. So when I'm doing my bows, I've got my right hand side here, and I'm just going to hold it in a loop, and then with the left hand side I'm going to actually twist that over. I'm going to go over my fingers from the top to the bottom, and then tuck that end up through there, and then you get your tops of your bows evenly at the top, like that, and that's how I do my bows. And then I make sure that the ribbon's cut at an angle, which I think looks prettier. So that is that side, and now we're going to show you the other side. So I've taken the hair elastic off that side, and again I'm going to just grab a piece from the front, trying to make it as even on both sides so you have uniform plaits, and then just dividing this with my fingers into 3 evenish sections, and then right over the middle, left over the middle, and then grab your section. It's difficult for you to see. Coax, maybe dip your head slightly that way. Grab this top first section of hair that I want, like that, and put that into that right hand side bit. And then you can put your head back up, darling, straight now. And then from the underneath, from the left, that's the side section into that left hand side bit, and then left over the middle, right over the middle, sorry, left over the middle, and then just keep on going like that, and just try and get your hair sections to be as uniform as you can to the other side. You know, it doesn't need to be perfect, but just don't go for much bigger chunks than you did on the other side. So I'm going to show you how to do the ribbon again. I've just looped it through the elastic, and I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times to try and hide that hairband. And then just do a simple crossover like you were doing a normal bow. And then I'm going to take the right hand side and make a loop. Then, I don't know why I do this, but I put my loop over from the right to the left, and then I put this left hand side over the top and tuck it through the hole up there. And then when you do it like that, you get your bows at the top, which I always think is quite pretty to have a neat bow like so. So just pull it tight and make sure it's secure and even. And there we are. So Coco, spin round and show everyone your plaits. I hope you found that helpful, darling. Thank you so much, and happy plaiting.